This is SA News Pulse, your heartbeat of South African news. As the country enters a new week, South Africans are still reeling from the shocking events that unfolded over the weekend. A key witness at the Madlanga Commission, known publicly as Witness D, was murdered in a targeted attack. His real name, now confirmed, was Marius van der Merwe. He was shot dead in front of his family, an execution-style killing that has sent tremors across the nation. It has raised urgent questions about the safety of witnesses, the power of criminal networks inside law enforcement, and the lengths to which certain individuals will go to silence the truth. Today, we break down why Witness D was killed, what he revealed in his testimony, and who stands to benefit from his silence. Because what happened this weekend was not random. It was strategic, it was intentional, and it was a direct attack on accountability in South Africa. On the 15th of April 2022, Witness D received a call from Kobus Janse van Rensburg, asking him to assist in a knock at a house in Brakpan linked to a warehouse robbery. When he arrived, he encountered a disturbing mix of individuals: SAPS members, EMPD officers, reservists, members of the Northeastern Flying Squad, private security contractors, and individuals who were not even real officers. Among them were Jaco Hanekom, an informer with a questionable reputation; Leandra Pretorius, posing as a SAPS member but not actually one. In the yard sat a 4-ton truck that matched the description of a vehicle used in the robbery. Inside the house, the suspect admitted involvement, but claimed he only transported stolen goods. He begged officers not to harm him and offered a 500,000 rand bribe, which he had inside the home. But after he mentioned the money, everything changed. 2 unidentified SAPS members and Pretorius dragged him into a bedroom and closed the door. Witness D observed interrogation methods that suggested torture, including a bucket of water being taken into the room. He later heard someone say, "The suspect will never talk again." The man was dead. Chaos followed. Officers scrambled to cover up the killing. Phone calls were made. One name repeatedly surfaced: General Firoz Khan. Why a KwaZulu-Natal general would be called to fix a killing in Brakpan remains a major red flag. Then, according to Witness D, Brigadier Julius Mkwanazi arrived. He allegedly instructed the group to dispose of the body, suggesting a mineshaft or a dam. Witness D was forced to move the body himself. These details, specific, detailed, and unflinching, formed the backbone of his testimony at the Madlanga Commission and implicated multiple individuals in serious criminal conduct.
Officers I cannot identify: Jaco Hanekom, Etienne van der Walt, present, and in the 2 SAPS, unknown SAPS officers from Brakpan. And a unknown male who was reported to be the suspect. The unknown male, when questioned, admitted that he was involved in the invasion and the robbery of the warehouse. He claimed, however, that all he did was transport of the stolen property. The suspect further requested that we not hurt him, as he had 500,000 rand in the house in cash, which he tried to bribe us with, or the officers with. After the suspect mentioned the cash, the 2 unknown members from Brakpan SAPS and Leandra Pretorius then pushed the man into the 2nd bedroom and closed the door behind them. Everyone else, including myself, searched the rest of the house. In the main bedroom, the EMPD officers, unknown to me, found case dockets where the suspect is identified as a suspect in the particular crime or is otherwise mentioned. Some SAPS forensic bags, as well as a number of live ammunition rounds. was found. The other rooms contained various tools or garden tools or welding equipment. I then went into the bedroom where the suspect had been taken to by the Brakpan SAPS members with Viandre Pretorius. I noticed Viandre Pretorius, the suspect, with a plastic bag with the two SAPS Brakpan members assisting him from the right-hand side of the double bed. Tubing is where a plastic bag gets placed over a person's head, and that person gets suffocated to the point that he talks or cannot breathe, no longer breathe, and then obviously that we will, or they would obviously then ask him to talk to us, obviously to avoid this from taking place again. I entered the room and sat next to the suspect on the left-hand side of the bed. When Viandre stopped, I asked the suspect to tell me where the stolen stock was being kept. The suspect replied that he will show us. I picked up a wooden table leg that was broken from inside the room, held his legs down with it as to not touch him with my hands as he was wet. Viandre then continued tubing in with the one unknown Brakpan SAPS member, helping to hold him down, while the other was searching the drawers, etc. I got up and left the room. The other people were still searching the room. It was quite clear, or the house, my apologies, commissioners. It was quite clear at this stage that the stock from Uwera's robbery was not in the house. As I entered the passage towards the kitchen, I saw one EMPD officer taking a bucket of water to the room where the suspect was being kept. In the kitchen, I found Kershaw Lee's stalls searching the cupboards. I walked out of the house and stood on the steps. A short while later, I walked back into the kitchen and found Kershaw Lee on her phone. She ended the call and shouted for everyone to move outside into the yard and went towards the second bedroom. As I moved towards the door, I noticed two unknown Brakpan SAPS members leaving the house in haste. One of them was carrying a small black sports bag. I exited the house. I was joined outside in the garden next to the truck by Kobus and the others. Shortly after this, Viandre and Kershaw Lee joined us. I asked whether a suspect talked, and Viandre responded that he will never ever talk again. A discussion between the law enforcement members then took place as to how to deal with the scene. Kershaw Lee tried phoning a paramedic to declare the suspect dead. Viandre approached me and informed me that he will phone General Feroz Khan to fix this. I in turn responded and said no, as this is Viandre's problem. He responded and said it's all of us in this, and if anyone talks, he will go to prison for killing them. I walked away from Viandre, and I walked away from Viandre, as myself and Viandre have had issues in the past. I saw Yaku Hanekom walking towards us. Yaku then informed myself and Viandre that the chief will come and sort out the issue. I noticed John Marie Ekstein, Zander Fritz, and other members leaving, including Kobus Jansen van Rensburg from Roosgaard, to go and look for a firearm to plant at this house.
Apologies, Witness D, you say that Yako informed all of you that the chief would come and sort out the issue. Do you know who he was referring to when he said the chief?
Commissioners, at that stage, I did not know who he was referring to. And as continued in my statement, I walked to the main gate after this was said, and after I noticed the members that I've mentioned walk away to go and get a firearm to plant.
Yes.
I walked to the main gate of the property and saw that my vehicle, which is a Ford Ranger, black in color, marked, was parked in by two marked EMPD vehicles, which prevented me from leaving at that point. It made me question the whole scenario and what was currently taking place. A short while after this, Chief Soup Julius Mkwanazi, JD Mkwanazi, arrived at the scene, and we were informed that this is the chief. in a dark tracksuit of some sort.
At this time, apologies, witness, at this time, did you know who Chief Superintendent Julius Mkwanazi was?
It was my first time seeing him that evening, and then it was obviously when Yaku indicated to us that this is Mkwanazi, Chief Sup Mkwanazi.
Did you know what unit or institution he's aligned to?
From the system, I understood that he was EMPD or Metro Police.
EMPD, you say?
Yeah, or Metro Police, from the rank structure.
Thank you. You may continue.
Thank you, Commissioners. So Jaco Hanekom and Deandre addressed him as chief, and the Metro members, including Jaco, Kershaw, Etienne was with me at that stage. So the Metro members, they all had a meeting with the SOEP away from myself and Etienne. Shortly afterwards, they returned to where we were. JD Mkwanazi said that we needed to throw the suspect's body into a mine shaft or dump it into a dam. As he said this, he looked at me. Deandre then in turn informed me that I must take the body and dump it. They will show me where and that I should relax. Since my vehicle is marked, Deandre said it won't attract any attention. I was directed by Deandre at this stage where to park my bakkie next to the front door. That is as you're coming from the main gate. I was escorted to my vehicle by 2 EMPD members and told where to park it. Jaco Hanekom essentially broke the gate to allow my vehicle entry into the property. I parked my vehicle at the designated spot and walked towards the main gate where I remained until they were finished.
Before you continue, witness D, apologies, before you continue, you say that when Chief Superintendent Mkwanazi said that the body should be thrown into a mine shaft or dumped into a dam,
yes.
You make the point of stating that when he said that, he looked at you. What did you interpret that to mean?
Commissioners, it was quite clear at this stage that it was expected from me to dispose of the deceased body. And as I said, it's especially after the meeting took place between themselves. It was quite clear that they decided between themselves that I'm the one that's supposed to dispose of the body. And
did you so agree?
I really didn't have a chance to agree. I felt like I was being forced. At this stage, I felt that I was being outnumbered, as the decision was made already, and we're dealing with a very serious and dangerous situation at this stage already.
Yes.
So I interpret it as if I don't comply, then I would probably be next.
Why was witness D killed? His murder was not a coincidence. It was not a random act of violence. It was a calculated hit. Here's why. 1. His testimony was credible. The detail he provided could not be easily dismissed. His story posed a real threat to those implicated. 2. He could lead investigators to the body. This alone could confirm the entire cover-up and expose every officer involved. 3. He named individuals with influence, connections, and histories of intimidation. 4. His testimony hinted at a much bigger operation. The stolen goods in the warehouse robbery may have been extremely valuable, potentially linked to drug consignments or organized criminal activity. 5. His courage threatened a network built on silence. Eliminating him sends a message to anyone considering coming forward. This was not just about silencing one voice. It was about controlling the narrative of the entire commission. The country cannot afford a passive response. The stakes are too high. South Africa urgently needs 1. Enhanced protection for MPs on the ad hoc committee. 2. Stronger security for commissioners and evidence leaders. 3. Effective, real witness protection, not symbolic gestures. 4. Immediate suspension and arrest of implicated officers. 5. Activation of dormant corruption and murder dockets. Because this goes beyond corruption. It is organized crime operating inside the state, using state resources, state uniforms, and state authority to intimidate and eliminate threats. These actors are not merely corrupt. They are strategic, violent, and deeply embedded. As this new week begins, we reflect on the life and courage of Marius van der Merwe, Witness D. He was not just a witness number. He was a father, a husband, and a citizen who chose to speak when silence would have been safer. He stepped forward in a system where telling the truth carries real danger, and he paid with his life. His murder is not just a tragedy for his family. It is a wake-up call for the nation. His testimony must not be forgotten. His courage must not be erased. And his death must force us to confront the rot he exposed. Rest in peace, Witness D. Your voice remains. Your testimony stands. And South Africa must decide where it goes from here. This is SA News Pulse, your heartbeat of South African news.